Hey, welcome back. Today we're jumping into a fascinating story, a real paradox of immense value packed into a super tiny space. We're off to Sri Lanka to check out its smallest national park, Horagolla.
So, let me ask you this. What if a country's most critical sanctuary was also its tiniest? It's a pretty wild thought, right? It kind of flips our whole idea that bigger is better on its head. And honestly, the story of Horagolla National Park is the perfect example of this very idea, a place whose importance is just completely out of scale with its size.
And when I say small, I mean it's really small. The entire park is just 13 hectares. That's it. To put that in perspective, we're talking about a space that's way smaller than most big city parks, probably smaller than your local mall. And yet, this tiny little patch of land holds the official title of a national park. So what on earth is going on here?
To figure that out, we've got to take a closer look at this surprising little sanctuary. You know, where it is, and the story of how it even came to be.
Okay, so its location is what makes it so different. You'd think a national park would be way out in some remote wilderness, but nope. Horagolla is smack in the middle of Sri Lanka's most crowded area, the Western Province. It's only about 40 kilometers from the capital, Colombo. It's literally an island of green in a sea of city life.
And being that close to the city is exactly what makes its story so incredible. So how does this tiny park pull it off? How does it have such a huge impact, not just on the environment, but on the country's culture too?
Well, its journey to being protected was a slow burn. For a long time, starting way back in '73, it was just a wildlife sanctuary. But as the world around it got busier and more built up, people realized it needed stronger protection. So in 2004, it got a major upgrade to national park status. That move was all about giving its precious ecosystem a real fighting chance.
And here's why that protection is so critical. Horagolla is an absolute powerhouse of biodiversity. I mean, just try to picture it. Crammed into this tiny area, you've got these massive hardwood trees, super rare plants you can't find anywhere else, and a whole thriving community of birds, mammals, and reptiles. It's a full-on living ecosystem in a space you could walk across in minutes. And get this, the park's value isn't just about nature. It has a really deep cultural history too. This piece of land used to be part of the Horagolla state, which was owned by some of Sri Lanka's most important political leaders. So it's a special place for both natural and national reasons.
So at this point, you might be thinking, okay, this place sounds amazing, I want to go. And you'd be right. It's actually a pretty easy and rewarding trip, so let's quickly walk through what a visit there would actually be like.
First things first, a little pro tip on when to go. For the absolute best experience, you'll want to aim for the dry season, which is between January and April. That's when the trails are clear, the wildlife is out and about. It's just the perfect time to plan a visit.
And getting there is ridiculously simple. It's only 25 kilometers from the main international airport, and you can drive there from Colombo in like an hour and a half, tops. It's even connected by bus and train, which probably makes it one of the easiest national parks to get to in the whole country.
So what do you do when you get there? Well, the whole experience is about just peaceful, quiet immersion. You can wander along these really well-kept trails through the forest. It's a total paradise for bird watchers and photographers. Or, you could just find a quiet spot to relax. It's perfect for a picnic or even an educational tour if you want to learn more.
But you knew there had to be a but, right? The story doesn't end there. Like so many amazing natural spots near big cities, this peaceful little gem is facing some really serious threats to its survival.
And that easy access we were just talking about? Yeah, that's the double-edged sword. Being so close to the city means the park is under constant pressure. The city keeps growing, creeping in on its borders, which shrinks the habitat. And pollution from all that development threatens the park's really delicate natural balance.
Thankfully, this little park isn't being left to fight on its own. Conservation efforts are in full swing, and people are actively fighting back. There are teams reforesting damaged areas, keeping a close eye on wildlife, and running anti-poaching patrols. And, really importantly, they're working to get the local community involved in protecting it.
So, when you put all these pieces together, its tiny size, its urban location, its incredible biodiversity, and all the challenges it faces, we can finally answer that big question. Why does this one little park matter so much?
You know, Maybe the best way to say it is this: it's a vital green lung in Sri Lanka's western province. In a region that's developing like crazy, this small patch of green provides clean air, it protects life that can't be replaced, and it stands as this powerful symbol of just how resilient nature can be.
And that really brings us to our final thought. The story of Horagolla isn't just about one park in Sri Lanka. It's a question for all of us, everywhere. In a world that's always focused on the big, grand gestures, how do we make sure we protect the small places that are doing the biggest jobs? Because figuring that out might just be the most important conservation work we can do. Thanks for joining us.